Isang makagham na umaga, Cordillera, and welcome to the Cordillera Weaving Industry Summit with the theme Gearing Towards Supply Chain of Textile in CAR from Production to Market. I am Sean Paul Sifiangaan from DOST-CAR.
Ako naman po ay si Helen Reyes Tibaldo ng Philippine Information Agency, CAR.
And we are your masters of ceremonies for this morning's event. Here are some gentle reminders to our virtual participants who are joining us via Zoom. To be properly recognized, please input your name in the following format: name of institution plus your first name plus your last name. For example, DOST-CAR space Juan de la Cruz. Kindly also keep your microphones on mute while presentations are ongoing. Kindly use the chat box to address your questions or concerns, or you may also use the raise hand feature. During the program, please use the speaker's view and keep your video on. In case you are disconnected, simply click the provided webinar link again. For our physical participants, please let us maintain physical distancing and let us always sanitize our hands to prevent the spread of COVID-19. In the Cordillera region, weaving is an essential element and component of our culture and was identified as a common priority industry in all the provinces in CAR. With the need to revitalize and sustain the industry, the Department of Science and Technology CAR spearheaded this milestone initiative of bringing together the various stakeholders from government and the private sectors to extend support to the weaving industry in the region. Today, we shall witness the fruit of our collaborative activities among the weaving stakeholders here in CAR. And this morning, we are proud to present to you the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan for 2020 to 2028. To formally start this event, kindly direct your attention to the screen for our doxology, to be followed by the singing of the national anthem and Cordillera hymn.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجمع شامل المسلمين والكريستيان والأمة في مدينة دباو وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the light of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
Thank you very much. This milestone in the local weaving industry would not be possible if not for the contributions of our different stakeholders. Now, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guests and collaborators joining us here at the Paragon Hotel here in Baguio City, in our provincial science and technology centers, and online via Zoom and Facebook Live.
Maraming salamat to everyone present today and virtually present. So as a start, let's give ourselves the biggest round of applause. Isang maulan na umaga, magandang Cordillera sa ating lahat, pero ang aming maalab na pagbati po na magandang Cordillera na imbag nga agsapa tayo amin. Today kicks off the 3-day culmination of Cordillera culture, talent, and history as we celebrate the 34th founding anniversary of our region. We highlight not only the richness and the creativity passed on from generation of Cordillerans, but also efforts to preserve and boost the weaving industry of the region, gearing towards supply chain of textile and car from production to market. Again, good morning everyone. So please join us in today's launching of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council and various activities that would happen in the next 3 days.
Okay, so thank you very much, Ma'am, Director Helen. So we'll now be starting to acknowledge our participants from the virtual platform muna, so
You can sit down.
via Zoom meeting. Okay, so we have here from the Department of Agriculture CAR, represented by Attorney Jeneline Dawayan.
From CDA-CAR, Dixon Aicud.
From the Department of Education CAR, Ms. Jonaline Ambrona.
From DPWH-CAR, we have Josephine Lagasca.
From the National Economic and Development Authority CAR, Mr. Arturo S. Aro.
From WWRRDEC-DNR, Helen Madumba.
And of course, our participants from the Department of Science and Technology CAR, from the DOST-Philippines Textile Research Institute, from the Philippine Commission on Women and Global Affairs Canada.
From the SUCs and higher education institutions from ASIS, we have Mary Joan Guzman with Pablo Bose Jr.
From the Apayao State College, represented by Ms. Dr. Maria Cristina Manicad.
From Benguet State University, we have Melchor Lumiked.
From the Kalinga State University, represented by Ms. Gloria Ann Karen C. Caldingon and Gladys Caramuan.
From St. Louis University, Cynthia Posadas.
Okay, so let's move on to our provincial local government units. So we have here our representatives from the PLGU Abra, Ms. Santos B. Bernardes, Ms. Marites Bobilla, and Ms. Jesusa Fair.
And we move on to, we also have our representative from PLGU Mountain Province, Venus Padayaw.
Okay.
We move on to our weavers, virtually present.
So starting from Eva Loom Weaving and Sewing Association, Ms. Marel C. Salcedo.
From Kinwa Ethnica Handicraft, Florence Awat.
From Imabilong Weavers Association, Ms. Adelaida Palyogan.
From the Montañosa Weaving Association, we have Rose Ann Wangdali.
From LAB Tie-Dye Weavers Organization, Ms. Virginia Cabigat.
From Narda Handwoven Arts and Crafts, we have Ms. Lorraine Gumeyak.
And from Peña Rubia Weavers Association, Mr. Normandino Miña Sr.
Okay, we move on. Bigyan po natin ng virtual applause ang ating mga participants. There we are.
And of course, I would also like to mention our virtual participants joining us from our different provincial science and technology centers, starting from the PSTC Abra, PSTC Apayao, PSTC Ifugao, PSTC Kalinga, PSTC Mountain Province, and of course, joining us here physically are the members or participants from the PSTC Baguio Benguet.
And I also see the president of the Baguio Creatives Committee, Bachi, heading
Si
the Creative Baguio. We have Dr.
Dr.
Raimundo Rovillos.
Good morning, sir.
May we request all those virtually present to please put on the camera. So while we're seeing them on screen, let's acknowledge those physically present.
Okay, starting from our partner in the development of the SWIDUP, from the Department of Trade and Industry CAR, headed by OIC Regional Director Ms. Juliet P. Lucas and Ms. Karen M. Lissing.
Let's also acknowledge retired but never tired and is still joining us and assisting partners in government. I would say partner for change. We
Tama
have
po, ma'am.
Director Mirna Pablo.
Good morning, ma'am. We also have here Dr. Mariano Marchan Jr. representing the Commission on Higher Education CAR.
From DICT North Luzon, Jamie Ruiz Chua.
From the Department of Interior and Local Government CAR, Jeriel Gayaso. Mr. Jeriel Gayaso, good morning.
DOL-CAR, Joyet Alonso.
From the Department of Tourism, headed by Regional Director Jovita Ganongan and Ms. Sylvia Chinayog.
From DPWH CAR, we have Ms. Juliet Aban.
From the Department of Social Welfare and Development CAR, represented by Ms. Jennifer G. Diego.
From IPO Philippines, Jean Dankeo.
From the National Economic and Development Authority, Ms. Virginia Anceno.
From NCIP CAR, Cheryl May Awichen Belagan.
And of course, my partner from the Philippine Information Agency, Cordillera, no other than RD Helen A. Tibaldo. Good morning, ma'am.
Present.
We also have here from the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, represented by Ms. Maria Socorro Bulatao.
Now we move on to our partners from the Field Export. We have Ms. Abigail May Bulayungan.
From the Academe, so we have here guests from the University of the Cordilleras, represented by Mr. Ruben Rubia.
From UP Baguio, we have Ms. Annalyn Salvador Amores.
And again, joining us virtually, Dr. Raimundo Rovillos. We also have here our ang star ng ating show ngayong umaga, ang ating mga dear weavers joining us physically this morning. From the Weaving Arts and Crafts of Tublay, Benguet, represented by Ms. Agnes Duyaw, Jane Omaking, and Florence Belwa.
From Sagada Weaving, we have Ezra Kifli Aranduque.
From West Quirino Hill Women's Organization, Ms. Sandra Mazo and Ms. Tessie Alcod. We also have here our guests, our weavers from Agape Weavers, Blessed Hope Weaving Association, Conquerors Weaving Association, Share, Obon Weavers, the Dreamers Weaving Association, Highland Weavers, and all the weavers supported by the Sustainable Livelihood Program under DSWD-CAR.
Let's also acknowledge the presence of our POPCOM Regional Director, Len Abellera.
Joining us virtually. We also have here our special guest from PCCI, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, represented by Miss Trinidad C. Trinidad. Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. Siguro we've acknowledged everyone. And bilang pagsisimula, narinig nyo naman how we acknowledge who are joining us today. So let's give ourselves a warm round of applause.
Yan. The skies are supporting us, ma'am. Nakikita ko, mukhang lumiliwanag ng panahon after more than 1 week of continuous rain. So now, this morning, we are starting to see Mr. Sunshine. Yan.
Yeah, with the participation of everyone, it will keep us all warm today.
Tama po.
So,
Okay. And
let's
now,
start.
to give her welcome and opening remarks is none other than our very own Department of Science and Technology CAR Regional Director, Dr. Nancy A. Bantog.
So, naimbag nga agsapat tayo, amin-amin. Datayong adda ditoy physically, kan uray diyay adda ditoy gat-attend nga Zoom or sa live streaming ng ating program. To all the men and women of the weaving industry who are involved in the raw material production, weaving and processing, product distribution and logistic support system, the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council, composed of various weaving associations and firms, private institutions, government agencies, and higher education institutions, resource speakers for both the webinars and the press con, and all our distinguished guests, including retired RD Myrna Pablo of DTI-CAR, who is with us physically. All participants, pleasant day to all of us. Welcome to this Cordillera Weaving Industry Summit, which includes series of activities. One is the launching of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan 2020 to 2028. Part of the launching is the recognition of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council and press conference to be led by our PIA Director, Madam Helen Tibaldo. Another activity is the webinar cum workshop covering various topics. This activity will not also be complete without the product exhibit here at the venue. By the way, no less than our agency secretary, Professor Fortunato T. de la Peña, extends his warmest greetings to all of us in this occasion and best wishes as we progress forward. Living in the pandemic era, we are doing these activities hybrid, limited face-to-face, and virtual as well. The event too is webcast live in the provinces. A while ago, the participants were duly acknowledged by our Masters of Ceremonies, RD Helen and Sir Shan. But allow me again to recognize the passion, commitment, and presence of the micro, small, and medium enterprises in the weaving industry, members of the council, partners from the media, and NEDA-CAR as Secretariat and Vice Chair of the RDC. Weaving is an esteemed tradition among the peoples of the Cordilleras. Generations of skilled artisans and entrepreneurs from our communities and various enablers, both in the government and private sectors, have eventually transformed the traditional weaving craft into a niche industry of our region. Much have been done in the textile industry, like fiber and natural dye discovery, production, and processing, mechanization and innovations in the processes, designs, marketing, among others. However, there are yet vast opportunities and potentials, much as there are developmental challenges. This had always been the rallying points that prompt the government agencies, local government units, higher education institutions, micro, small, and medium enterprises, private sector, and enablers consolidate our resources to sustain the momentum being built and to further advance our efforts through goal-oriented partnerships in revitalizing the weaving industry. Hence, the RDC approved Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan 2020 to 2028. Spearheaded by the Regional Research Development and Innovation Committee through the Department of Science and Technology CAR, SWIDEP, or the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan, is a plan that lays down the goals and strategic directions in the next 8 years. It is a blueprint to all stakeholders in the weaving industry to capitalize on the strengths and opportunities within and outside the region while proactively dealing with the external and internal challenges to expand the industry's share for the socio-economic development of our region. The SWIDEP then converges both the government and private sector's initiatives towards a competitive and sustainable weaving industry. The plan may also be used to leverage investments, both local and foreign. You see, some national government agencies fund programs and projects that were vouched as regional plan and priorities. This is also true in the international arena. Currently, the DOST-CAR, DTI-CAR, and DA-CAR are on our last year in implementing the Great Women Project 2 for 2 industry priorities, namely coffee and wearables. This partnership is spearheaded by the Philippine Council of Women and funded by the Canadian government. So in the long term, we hope that with our SWIDEP, we will have even more local and global partnerships like the Canadian-funded Great Women Project 2, which I just mentioned. Moving on, as part of the plan, the DOST-CAR has convened the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council, and this week, Cordillera Weaving Industry Council is the body responsible for the implementation and monitoring of the plan towards securing the vision, mission, and goals for the weaving industry. Rest assured that we at the DOST-CAR, along with our co-chair, Narda's Handicraft, and Vice Chair DTI-CAR, are steadfast in our roles to work with the 37 strong members of the Council. Moreover, the Council took this opportune time to hold this week-long Cordillera Weaving Industry Summit as part of the 34th Cordillera Month celebration. Various weavers and artisans in the locality are with us for an array of activities that highlight developments in the weaving sector and to continue their capability building activities. From webinars to training workshops, this shall further familiarize our weavers with contemporary fashion trends, basic handloom and pattern drafting techniques, and multicultural pattern drafting. These activities too will surely harness their creativity and make them adaptive to the new normal, especially in the fashion industry and the digital marketing systems. The product exhibit right here in our venue proudly displays the loom weaving products from local weavers and creative designers. Make sure to grab a product or more before you leave the venue. To the participants in this hall and all those attending virtually from Abra, Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga, and Mountain Province, thanks for your participation. and let us continue joining our hands together for the weaving industry's development. May our Creator bless our plans as documented in our SWIDEP. May He bless the efforts of this week or the Council. May the weaving industry find favor in the eyes of the Creator for them to contribute more to our communities and our region. I now formally open this week-long Weaving Summit. Happy Summit, Happy Cordillera Month. Together we say, Agbyag ti weaving industry, agbyag ti Cordillera.
Maraming salamat, our DOST Regional Director, Nancy Bantog. So, the star of the show are our Cordillera Weavers presenting the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. And as a support, we have the Cordillera Weaving Development Council.
Tama po yan, ma'am. And there is really a need to sustain the momentum we are having right now and have a goal-oriented local and global partnerships for a vibrant weaving industry here in the Cordillera.
And the plan is not just 1 year, but 2020 to 2028.
Tama po yan, ma'am. Okay, so once again, thank you very much, Dr. Nancy Bantog of DOST-CAR for that very warm welcome message. Moving on to give his inspirational message, please join us in welcoming our DOST Secretary, Professor Fortunato T. de la Peña.
My warmest greetings and congratulations to the organizers, partner agencies, institutions, local government units, weavers, organizations, and other stakeholders. Mapteng Jen Akeu Sun Sikatejon Emin, or good morning to everyone. Weaving is an integral part of the Filipino culture that gives unique identity and pride among local communities in our country. It is a form of cultural expression defined by distinct designs and weaving patterns of woven textiles where cultures, beliefs, and traditions are embedded. In the Cordilleras, weaving is a living tradition among the ethno-linguistic groups from the different provinces, including Tingian from Abra, Isneg from Apayao, Bontoc from Mountain Province, Kalanguya and Ifugao from Ifugao, Ibaloy and Kankanae in Benguet, and Ikalinga in Kalinga, among others in the region. Weaving plays a vital role in the lives of Cordillerans, from their traditional practice in producing distinct quality woven textiles towards opportunities for additional income for local weavers in various communities. Over the years, the department, through the Department of Science and Technology Cordillera Autonomous Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, has been continuously implementing projects relevant to the innovation and promotion of weaving, such as the Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program, or SETUP, and the Community-Based Empowerment Program. With this, loom weaving technology, trainings, technical consultancy services, and marketing support reach the weavers in the communities to scale up their level of productivity and product quality, improve product packaging and labeling, and increasing competitiveness in the market. In response to the new normal, our artisans have also gone online to promote their products, notably using DOST's digital hub, One Store. Meanwhile, the department recognizes the potential of weaving not only to preserve the culture of the Cordilleras, but also as a means of livelihood, especially for women. If I may add, it can also be means for creating wealth. It is for this reason that women-led, women-owned, and women-managed micro, small, and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, in the Cordillera Administrative Region engaged in weaving are further supported through partnership projects such as the Women Economic Empowerment to Gender-Responsive Economic Actions for the Transformation of Women project, also known as the Great Women Project 2. Under the project, 42 MSMEs in the home style and wearable sector are given technical and financial assistance to further their goals in advancing weaving in the community. I am also very pleased with the efforts of our DOST-CAR in spearheading the crafting of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan for 2020-2028 that envisions a Cordillera-inspired, creative, and vibrant weaving industry that is sustainable, resilient, globally competitive, and advanced by a community of artisans and entrepreneurs for the benefit of the Cordillera people. I also commend the collective efforts and commitment of the Cordillera Regional Development Council, the government agencies, academic institutions, local government units, private entities, and our stakeholders in the weaving sector. I encourage the recently created Cordillera Weaving Industry Council, which will lead the implementation of the plan, to put in place the mechanisms to implement, monitor, and evaluate programs and projects of this CWIDP. May your partnership with key agencies and lead institutions guide the region towards a competitive and sustainable weaving industry for the benefit of the community. This is a testament that through science, technology, and innovation, we can improve the lives of our people. Again, congratulations at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Secretary Fortunato de la Peña, for that very inspiring message.
So let's give him another virtual applause, Secretary Fortunato de la Peña. Moving on to the next part, the highlight of this morning's program.
Tama po, ang main dish ng ating meal ngayong umaga, which is the unwrapping and signing of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. So again, to our guests and online participants, please join us as we will be witnessing the unwrapping and signing of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan, or SWIDUP, for 2020 to 2028. May I request Dr. Nancy Bantog of DOST-CAR, along with our partners during the development of the SWIDUP, to please come here in front for the unwrapping of the SWIDUP 2020 to 2028. So may I call our representatives from the DOST-CAR, from the University of the Philippines, Baguio, from Benguet State University, from the Cooperative Development Authority, from the Department of Education CAR, from the Department of Labor and Employment, from the Department of Tourism, Department of Social Welfare and Development, DTI, the NCCA, the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, the National Economic and Development Authority, the Philippine Fiber Industry Development Authority, and DTI-CAR to please join Dr. Nancy Bantog here in front for the unwrapping and signing of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan.
So what's in the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan 2020-2028?
Tama po, magandang tanong yan, ma'am. So the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan is a regional strategic plan that will serve as a guide to all our stakeholders in the weaving industry. It is a collaborative plan that harmonizes both the government and private sector efforts to form a sustainable and vibrant weaving industry here in the Cordillera Administrative Region. So we will now be witnessing the unwrapping of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan.
May we also call a representative from our Weavers Association?
Tama po.
Before we unwrap, dapat po kasama natin ang ating mga weavers.
May we call on representatives from our weaving industry associations present with us physically here in Paragon Hotel to please join them in front for the unwrapping and signing of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan.
So ano ba ang vision ng ating development plan?
Okay. So the vision of our SWIDOP for 2020 to 2028 is for a Cordillera-inspired, creative, and vibrant weaving industry that is sustainable, resilient, and globally competitive, advanced by a community of artisan and entrepreneurs for the benefit of the Cordillera people.
So what are the contents of this development plan?
So actually we have four main chapters under the SWIDOP 2020 to 2028. So the first chapter covers the overview of the weaving industry in CAR. The second chapter contains the assessment of the Cordillera weaving industry. So how is the Cordillera weaving industry doing here in the region? We have the third chapter that covers the development framework of the weaving industry, or the strategies that should be conducted or done to promote the weaving industry. And the fourth chapter, the plan, implementation, and monitoring.
Okay, I think we're ready to unwrap.
Okay, so may we now request RD Nancy Bantog and all other representatives to lead the unwrapping of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. Isang malakas na palakpakan po sa ating lahat, both physically and virtually, as we now unwrap the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. Okay, so may I also request the member agencies to please show their copies of the SWIDOP. And we now proceed to the signing of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Plan by its developers po.
So ito po yung Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. So,
Tama po. Itong plano na ito ang pinaghirapan ng ating mga kasama from other government and private agencies and organizations to support the development of a vibrant weaving industry here in CAR.
so it's a whole of nation approach, a convergence of non-government, government, and our weavers association officers and members.
Tama po yan, ma'am. That is to sustain the development of the weaving industry dito sa ating rehiyon.
Ano ba ang goals and strategies that we will adopt para dito sa development plan na ito?
Okay, so for our goals and strategies, we want a well-developed and sustained innovative weaving industry that is value-adding to other industries. We also want a sustainable local production of quality raw materials such as natural fibers, natural dyes, and other major raw materials. We also want to develop highly skilled, competent, innovative, and entrepreneurial workforce to increase also the income and employment from the weaving industry, to form a globally competitive, market-driven, unique, quality, and affordable woven products, to preserve the Cordillera indigenous designs, and to develop and promote the innovative designs.
Okay, so may we request everyone to please come forward. Our lead partners in the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan drafting, and finally it's here.
Tama
ready
po.
to be rolled out 2020 to 2028. Again, where are the weavers? We want the weavers because they are part of the crafting of the development plan.
Tama po yan, ma'am, no?
Hindi po to gobyerno lang. This is government, NGO, and weavers partnership.
Yes, tama po yung sinabi nyo kanina, Ma'am Helen, no? This is a whole of nation, this is a whole of government, and this is a holistic approach to provide support for the vibrant Cordillera weaving industry.
At ang mga miyembro po ng Development Council ay kasama po ang mga weavers. We have the DOST-CAR as chairperson and co-chaired by a private sector weavers representative. Vice chair is DTI-CAR and DOST as secretariat. We have different committees. We have the production committee, capacity building and equipment support committee.
We also have the research and development committee,
The production committee,
the promotion enterprise marketing and development committee,
infrastructure and technology support committee,
the planning and policy formulation and monitoring and evaluation committee,
and the advocacy documentation and publication committee.
May we also request the former director of DTI-CAR, Ms. Mirna Pablo, to join our colleagues here in front. Dahil kayo po, along with DOST-CAR, ang nag-spearhead, kasama naming nag-spearhead sa development ng SWIDOP for 2020 to 2028. May I also request Director Helen Tibaldo of PIA-CAR, my partner this morning, to join them in front. Dahil sama-sama po tayong lahat sa pag-implement ng plano natin para sa weavers dito sa Cordillera Administrative Region. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much. Now, let us listen to the presentation about the overview of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan 2020 to 2028 to be presented to us by no other than our DOST-CAR Regional Director, Dr. Nancy A. Bantog. Please help me welcome back Director Bantog here in front.
Anyway, a while back, our Masters of Ceremonies, Ma'am Helen and Sir Shan, read some of the highlights of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. And as was said, this covers the period 2020 to 2028. Next slide, please. Okay, it's a regional plan. It serves as a guide to all of us in the weaving industry. And we are now considering that the weaving industry is subsumed under home styles and wearables. It's a collaborative plan in such a way that it will harmonize all the efforts of the government and private sectors, wherein everybody is focused on what to do for the next 8 years. The vision of our plan is a Cordillera-inspired, creative, and vibrant weaving industry that is sustainable, resilient, and globally competitive, advanced by a community of artisans and entrepreneurs for the benefit of the Cordillera people. So this is what we would like to be by 2028. Next. Okay, I'm very proud to present the 14 member agencies. I call these 14 member agencies the writing committee. They were the ones who were responsible for the completion of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. So these are the Benguet State University, Cordillera Development Authority, Department of Education, Department of Labor and Employment, Department of Tourism, DOST, TESDA, DSWD, DTI, National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, University of the Philippines, Baguio, National Economic Development Authority, National Commission of Culture and the Arts, and the Philippine Fiber Industry Development Authority. Next. This plan started in 2018. So how many years back? 2 years, ano? And that was April 6, if I am not wrong, when R.D. Pablo and I met at their office planning on what are we going to do after the coffee roadmap and the council are all in place. We saw the benefit of having that plan in the council, and ano kaya ang isusunod natin? That was the question 2 years back. And we agreed that since weaving is the industry in all provinces in the Cordillera, we decided to have this weaving industry development plan. It continued with various workshops and reviews, and also stakeholders forum and consultation. In the initial workshop and reviews, the University of the Philippines Baguio Chancellor, si Sir Raymond Rovilius, gave us some of the activities or insights that we are going to take aside from the spearheading of the National Economic Development Authority. And so this goes on, the workshops and reviews, stakeholders forum and consultation until the plan was presented to 3 committees under the RDC, which are Committee on Indigenous Peoples Concerned, spearheaded by NCIP, the Regional Research Development and Innovation Committee, spearheaded by DOST-CAR, and our Sectoral Committee on Economic Development, spearheaded by DTI-CAR. So we went to the rigors of these reviews, forum, and presentation until the plan was approved by the Cordillera Regional Development Council in January 29, 2021. After the approval, then we had it layouted and printed. And at this point, I would like to acknowledge the financial support of the Philippine Council for Women, or of Women, PCW, who funded the printing of additional 50 copies of our SWEDIP. The 80 copies were funded by RRDIC through the DOST-CAR, and the last 50 was funded by the PCW. Okay, and here we are launching this plan. Even before the launching of the plan, government agencies, private sectors were already in the move doing the projects, programs, and activities aligned to their mandate. And we are now guided with this plan. We are more focused with this plan. Next. Okay, as mentioned by R.D. Helen a while back, there are 4 chapters in this plan: the overview, assessment, the development framework, and the most important thing, the plan implementation and monitoring, which is the last chapter. Next, please. Okay, chapter 1 gives information or facts regarding the weaving industry in the context of our regional development plan. In chapter 2, it presents where we are now, what we are doing, what the government and private sectors are doing, what are the programs, projects, and services being offered by these entities, what is the current situation of our weaving industry, how many, who are the players and enablers, and the issues and challenges. So what are the highlights of the issues and challenges? Next slide, please. Aging master weavers and lack of interest among our youth, health conditions of the weavers related to the craft, skills training, lack of market linkages, lack of fund and financial planning, raw materials for weaving and loom implements. And when we say raw materials, these are the fibers, the dyes, and so on. And there are some issues on intellectual property. There are a lot more, but these are the major issues and challenges of our weaving industry. Next. I already mentioned this vision a while back, so let me skip this one. This is in chapter 3 already, showing the framework where we would like to be, what then are we going to do, what are the strategies, goals, and the macro indicators or performance indicators that we would like to achieve. So there are 7 goals: innovative weaving industry, sustainable production of raw materials, highly skilled, competent, innovative, and entrepreneurial workforce, increased income and employment, globally competitive, market-driven, quality but affordable woven products, and let's not forget the preservation of the Cordillera indigenous designs. It's where we started actually, and development and promotion of innovative designs. These are the 7 goals of our plan. Next. So we have strategies. I think there are 5 strategies, and there are also broad stroke activities that we will do under each of these 5 strategies. Next. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, the macro level of our plan in the next 8 years. These are some samples, and these are all indicated in our industry plan. Next. Okay, for the plan implementation in monitoring, we have the plan. Who will do it? Who will monitor? And who will do the, who will keep our plan? So we have this Cordillera Weaving Industry Council, the keeper of our plan. So this is a very big task on the part of the council. The plan is already there, but who is going to implement, monitor the plan? It will be the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council. So there are working committees under this council, and for them to look into the implementation of our SWIDEP. In Chapter 4, we have there the specific programs and projects for us to achieve our goals and vision, and there are also measures that would guide us in implementing the programs and projects. Okay, this is it. Who are in the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council, or SWIC? Next. As soon as the RDC approved our plan, we now constituted the council, and they came up also with their own vision, mission, and goals, which are aligned to the vision, mission, and goals of our plan. Nagko-complement yun. What's in the plan, and what are the passion and commitment of the council. So we finalized, the council finalized the manual of operations. It was approved by the council, and we are now recognizing the council in this summit. Okay, next. Okay, next. This is their vision. As I've said, it's aligned to the vision of the plan. So the council, the vision of the council is a creative and vibrant regional council of diverse and competent institutions embodying excellent leadership, towards a sustainable, resilient, globally competitive, and innovative community of artisans and entrepreneurs in the weaving industry for a prosperous Cordillerans. And mission, we have 2, relevant and responsive council, and also to strengthen partnerships. Next. The structure of our council is DOST-CAR as the chairperson, Narda's Handwoven Arts and Craft as the co-chairperson, and DTI-CAR is the vice chairperson. The secretariat is DOST-CAR, and the council is supported by the technical working group from the various members. We have 8 committees, and each committee under this council is spearheaded by an agency which has mandate in each of these committees. Let's say for production committee, the lead is Phil FIDA with all those members. Capacity building led by DOST-CAR, research and development, CHED, promotion, enterprise and marketing development, DTI, planning, monitoring and evaluation, NEDA, infrastructure and technology support, there are 2. Under technology, it's DOST-CAR, infrastructure, DPWH, advocacy, documentation and publication committee, of course, it's none other than PIA-CAR. And the last committee, as was suggested during the last meeting of this week, with the passionate suggestion and foresight of R.D. Helen, we agreed that we have this resource generation committee. And we have enumerated the partners under each of the 8 committees. So if you look at it, all the provinces, in terms of the Weavers Association, are represented in this council. We also have private institutions like PCCI, Phil Export, and others that we know are very crucial in the implementation of the plan. Okay? There are 37 members. The HEIs are actually represented by the CHED. We have 2 NGOs or private institutions, 13 weavers organization, 21 government agencies. These are the committees with their functions. We'll just run through it. Okay, as their guide. Next. Resource Generation Committee, hindi pa natin na-detail yung function, but as the committee name implies, they are responsible in helping the council source out funds for the activities of the council. Okay. So that's it. Thank you very much. And let's warm ourselves with our coffee. It's there, actually. It's a free-flowing.
Maraming salamat, Director Nancy Bantog. So, bigyan po naman natin siya ng masigabong palakpakan. Moving on to the next part.
Ayan. So tama nga po. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Nancy Bantog, for giving us a comprehensive overview of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan for 2020-2028. There is really so much more to be done, but with our unifying support for each other, these plans will be implemented for the vibrant weaving industry here in CAR. At this point in our program, may we now call on our partners, again led by Dr. Nancy Bantog, to please come here in front for the pledge of commitment to support the implementation of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan for 2020 to 2028. So again, may I call on Dr. Nancy A. Bantog to lead together with our guests this morning from the different government agencies, from the NGOs, from the state universities and colleges, higher education institutions, guests from the provincial local government units, and our weavers, okay? To please join RD Nancy Bantog here in front for the signing of the Pledge of Commitment.
What is the content of the Pledge of Commitment?
Ayan. So let me read. Let me read po the contents of the Pledge of Commitment. We strongly support the vision of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan 2020 to 2028 to be a Cordillera-inspired, creative, and vibrant weaving industry that is sustainable, resilient, and globally competitive, advanced by a community of artisans and entrepreneurs for the benefit of the Cordillera people. That the SWIDOP for 2020 to 2028 serves as a guide to all stakeholders in the weaving industry to capitalize on the strengths and opportunities within and outside the region while proactively dealing on the internal and external challenges to expand the industry's share for the socio-economic development of the region. And that the SWIDOP 2020 to 2028 is a consolidated government and private sector efforts to better capacitate weavers in production, technology innovation and market linkages, promote environmental quality and sustainable use of its resources, increase resiliency of individuals and communities, and preserve the unique culture and heritage of the region's indigenous peoples and indigenous communities. We pledge our commitment to be actively involved by participating and providing assistance in the operationalization of the SWIDOP 2020 to 2028 through the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council. So we are now having the signing of the Pledge of Commitment to support the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan and the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council. So we are now having right now our guests, representatives from the government agencies, from the NGOs, from the academe, from the MSMEs, and of course, representatives from the weaving communities who are pledging their commitment to support the SWIDOP 2020 to 2028, as well as to support in the efforts of the newly created Cordillera Weaving Industry Council.
With that pledge of commitment, we now have to walk the talk.
Tama po yan, ma'am. Para po sa vibrant weaving industry dito sa Cordillera Administrative Region.
What will happen in the 3-day summit, Cordillera Weaving Industry Summit? Today is the launching, then we will have a press con later. Then we will have a webinar session 1. In webinar session 1, we will have the woven fabrics in the fashion industry. We will have Miss Julian Paran, fashion designer, as our resource person.
We also have, also this afternoon, after the first session by Miss Julian Paran, we will have another speaker in the person of Miss Twinkle Ferraren to discuss the new weaving designs and techniques.
And at session 3, about 3:30 to 5 p.m., we will have the production and marketing chain of woven products in the new normal. We will have the president of Philippine Textile Council, Miss Adelaida Lim.
Tama po yan, ma'am. And that will cover up the first day of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Summit. For the next 4 days of the summit, we'll be having the different workshops on basic handloom weaving, sponsored or to be led by the Great Women Project under the DOST-CAR and its partner agencies. Yan. So ang partner ko po, si Director Helen Tibaldo, ay kasalukuyang nagpipirma din ng Pledge of Commitment to support the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. So may I call on, once again, to our partners to please come here in front for the photo ops. Dito po sa may, dito po to support the Pledge of Commitment.
When we sign the Pledge of Commitment, we commit ourselves as individual and we commit our association or our agency as well.
Tama po yan, ma'am, because we have our this whole of society, whole of nation, holistic approach para po dito sa implementation ng ating SWIDOP for 2020 to 2028. Okay, so may I request all of our guests, our distinguished guests, collaborators, to please come here. Come here in front per table po. You will be assisted by our colleagues sa DOST-CAR for the picture taking.
So while we'll start with table 1 and 2.
Tama po yan, ma'am. Pero bago ko po makalimutan, meron po kong gustong i-acknowledge na isa sa bisita po natin, representative from the office of representative from the office of Congressman Eric Yap, our caretaker for the Lone District of Benguet, and chair of the House Appropriations Committee. So he is represented by Mr. Genesis Benis. So good morning, sir, and welcome. Welcome to the launching of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan. A special mention too to one of our weaver from Sagada in the name of Miss Lugay Palangdao. Thank you very much for joining us virtually in this activity. Okay, so ang photo ops po natin is per table to maintain physical distancing. Ayan. So I encourage you to please come here in front per table po. Ina-assist po kayo ng ating mga kasama from DOST-CAR for the picture taking along with the alongside the pledge of commitment po.
So while we're having our picture taking, let's present to them a rundown of activities that would happen in the next few days. July 27, that's tomorrow.
We will be having a workshop on basic handloom weaving. This will be facilitated by Miss Josefa L. Garlitos, the SRS-1 and Master Weaver at the DOST-Philippines Textile Research Institute.
And what would happen in the afternoon of July 27?
Yan po. So from July 27 to July 13, no? That will be a 3 or 4 day workshop on basic handloom weaving. Ang main output po nila dyan, ma'am, makapag-produce sila ng, I think, 10 to 14 meters long of woven fabric as their main output for the workshop on basic handloom weaving.
The plan didn't take overnight. It took years of planning,
Tama
and
po
now
yan.
it's still continuing until we be able to implement the contents of the plan.
Tama po yan, Ma'am Helen.
Okay, haba pong nagpipicture taking sila, ihanda na natin ang mga resource person natin for the next part of the program, which is the press con. Press con, though with media, we will likewise entertain questions from our virtual and physically present participants for their concerns.
Tama po yan, no, ma'am. So after the virtual picture taking and a showing of an AVP, we will be having the press conference to be led by the Philippine Information Agency Cordillera.
With you.
And with me from the DOST-CAR. Ayan po. So for us to further know more about this initiative, this multi-sectoral initiative to support the vibrant weaving industry here in the Cordillera Administrative Region. Ayan. So, padami na din po ng padami ang pupunta dito sa harap for our virtual picture taking. May we also request our participants joining us virtually, sa mga participants po natin sa Provincial Science and Technology Centers, to post a selfie with your participants this morning po. So once again, thank you very much to our partners and collaborators, to our physical and virtual guests joining us today. Kindly direct your attention once again to your screens as we will be showing you an audio-visual presentation featuring the different weaving associations currently being assisted by the Department of Science and Technology (CAR) and other government agencies under the Great Women Project 2. The Great Women Project 2 is a project funded by the Government of Canada in partnership with the Philippine Commission on Women, the Department of Science and Technology, the Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Agriculture, and other partner institutions. It seeks to improve the economic empowerment of women micro-entrepreneurs and their workers through improving competitiveness and sustainability of women's micro-enterprises and improving the enabling environment for women's economic empowerment. While watching the video presentation, we also encourage you, especially to our physical participants here at the Paragon Hotel, to support the products of our weavers by visiting their booths at the back. The booths of our weavers will be open until 5 p.m. this afternoon. And the weavers physically present with us today are also currently being supported by DOST-CAR through the Provincial Science and Technology Center in Benguet and in partnership with LGU Baguio. So while watching the video, we encourage you to please visit their booths and buy their products. We will now be witnessing we will be now watching, no?
Siya ni Luis Agai Jr. may isang itnag iti tribo ti Ilaud tribe iti amyanan a partiti Cordillera, probinsya ti Abra, municipality o Peña, barangay na Marabar or Balabal. Iti produkto mi nga tinawid mi kadagiti ancestors mi nang runa unay dagiti lalakay nga nang ipasublat nang ipatawid kadagitoy pagsiatan mi nga natural dye. Dahito natural dye ket usaren dagiti ancestors tayo idi ununa na pala ang atiyempo ususarinda apag kulay iti yarn wano sinulid sakbay nga abelenda daytoy nga sinulid nga agbalin nga bado wenno lupot nga usaren nagiti itneg ili ununa na dayjay kinabak nang nga natawid tayo kadagiti naka-insigudan tayo mga elders tayo taamok nga daytoy ket agbalin to iti masakbayan nga sustainable development para kadagiti agayat nga mangusar iti daytoy natural dye. Ta daytoy natural dye saksakopon na ti farming Saksakopan na iti panagkulor, saksakopan na iti panagabel, saksakopan na pa'y dagiti passion, artist tayo tata. Isoda dagito iti umununa, nang nangruna, nga mangus-usar, iti daytoy natural dye. Kadagiti produkto da, nga ipasimuda agda, nga ti Pilipinas, ket nabak ng iti natural dye. From 2015, ingga natata, dito natural dye, ado nga artist, designers, lang nga dito Pilipinas, from under nation, Europea, iso ti kanrunaan tata agal-ala kanyami ti produkto nga natural dye. Dito indigo, nga dito powder tayo, iso dito ti makulayan na nga sinolid. Tata dito yung ti makulayan na nga tela. Tinado pa hanlaan nga dito indigo nga produkto tayo. No di ket ado pa sa bali dito yellow ket naggapo iti tawa-tawa kinlagundi. Ado pa dito orange dito aswiti tayo iso ti pangkulkulay tayo budlan ti orange. Ito ti kulay na. Dito sapang powder tayo. Dito produkto nga dagito ay from clothes, face mask, dagito face mask, ayan. With traditional art embroidery. Dito iti may sa nga talaga nga in-preserve mi dito traditional art. Mi dito yung itneg. Kasi itneg lang iti addaan kastoy nga arte, handmade embroidery. Dito yung handmade embroidery nga dito ay ingana from clothes, bado, dito top. Ito po yung poncho na bali na-promote po ito 2015. Nag-design po ito is yung isang designers natin sa Baguio, si Sir Dave Leproso. Thank you so much sa kanya dahil ito tinangkilik ng mga tao. At the Facebook account me, yung Revival Dye, yon po yung Facebook account ng kooperatiba.
Siya po ni Madirin Kudyamat, may sak po nga mga belti, Bulbulala Farmers and Lombibers Association. May saka po nga proud nga gababel ditoy kat iti produkto mi kat dadtoy makitkireta ta dito binakol nga iso ti bestseller mi da na dumaduma nga disenyo na ti kantarines mi ada stripes mi ada flame ada pay flame with metallic mi tas dapat checkered ti binakol mi na dumaduma mo ti pattern na with different colors turn ada kusikos mi whirlwind nga kunada adu nga klase ti abel kat no kaya yung nga makita dagito yung dumaduma nga natipintas nga klase ti abel wayayo lang ti bumisita dito yung lugar mi wenno adda pa yung Facebook page mi bisitahan nyo lang ti Lailas Lumibing page kat makita yung DJ na dumaduma nga disenyo ti abel mi dito abra proud abel mi mo dito yung pagpampanakal mi nga produkto mi nga yung kami mo kumitkitaan kan pagsapulan mi dito yung lalo kanya mi kababayan nga nagdakkel di may tulong na para kanya mi para ti pamilya kan para kadagiti anak mi biso nga kakabsat tangkilikin nyo kawala ito nga produkto mi tapnon tuloy-tuloy lang tama ti kumita mi tore basit lang no for case we know magatang yung dakkel labanag yung kanya mi tanon mapaadal mi madagiti anak mi agyaman ako nay.
Siyak ni Corazon nga masi nga misa nga agabel iti luna. Taga Mountain Province nga na iti luna siyak tini paditi abel dito ke adu mati kababayan kadua nga babaken nga nagababel nalalaing naman nga kwa so nga dagiti ti produkto mi. tanga pandemic ka di nga magatgatang iso nga problema kami tadi nga magatang na ito'y abil me. Kumay kimot gumatang tapno adamot kami ano kuan tumulong kayo nga quality abil me ta awan serbinang nga agab abol kami di magatang. Idi ke ano ti okasyon ke maiibusang kami ng tatak awanan mapunpundo matin nga so masarot pa yan dagiti aga abol nga kwata dito ikaw di nga magatang ka ampi man pagkwartaan no kahit yung gumatang dito abol may dagiti abol kat kwa para tapis para bado baag dagiti tele ano pa tele nga kwa. No, kahit yung gumatang dito abol may dito yung MSW dito kontakan nyo. Dito yung opisina dito abol may. Dagiti taga-apayaw, nga kaaruba nga lugar. Balintay mapan ijay, Tourism Information Center. Masarakan ije boundary ti Cagayan kin apayaw. Dagiti taga-adayo nga aglugar mabalin tayo nga ko i-contact ti Jello na Facebook account.
Agiti locals tayo, most especially agiti SNEGs, agab-abal da din, ilaklako da ditoy. We are encouraging everyone, kung sino man ti nadati mga yat, nga agavail or gumatan dagiti local products, mabalin ta i-contact ti MSW di Luna, apayaw, tapno makapag-avail kayo atoy.
Siyak ni Albina Utingay, siya ti presidente iti Dakang Kirors Association of Middle Quirino Hill. Iso na ito iti agkam na. Dahil iti acrylic, tawag di materials na. Dahil ito iti runner, seat cover. Damot ti sabaling nga materials, dagitoy out of planner. Foot rugs, the same acrylic. Dahito iti foot rugs. Halos pare-parehas, magkit di kaya lang different materials. Wool decors. Gitoy. So ti nararamid da. Day rice terraces. Daytoy magtibags mi, maiti retail mi ditoy kat 180. Daytoy damot. Coin purse. Fish mask. Mostly, iti pag-displayan mi, daytoy Station Road, dagitoy trade fair. Kan i-deliver mi ijay swamp, idihan pa lang ang pandemic. Tanta nga pandemic, awanen ti piman customer. Uwen, agon online kami. Mostly nga mabili iti online, dagitoy. Dagitoy da seat cover, dagitoy foot rugs. Iso ti mostly nga silabol kanyami iti online. Tried me, jay Viodic, Middle Quirino Hill. Gamga po iti typhoon, tamabaha. Iso nga medyo inclement ditoy, iso ti medyo nalawlawa. Sa akin may sa dagiti daduman ti weaving loom na i-home base, kadagiti members matlaeng. Iso nga no, kwa umay dalaeng nga ag-ala iti materials. Iyabol da, isubmit na matlaeng diti manunti. Naabol kat isod ko, may lista.
Siya ni Saturday na atinan, 30 years kuntuyen. Member ak dito nga association, siya ti agiwa warp ti abalin dagijay kakadwa. Nagrugi daytoy kabayan bibing idi 1990. In my piman ti dole tapos DTI nga nagisoro. Dito'y matlang balay da manang maksensya. Ti best practices mi, dito'y agaramid ti tapis. Aramid kami matlang ti bags, scarf. Da kayo nga kakabsat, mabalinmat nga nakitaan nyo ti produkto mi dito yung Facebook at mabalinmat nga ag-order kayo.
Siya ni Jacinta ngayon na member ti Luguam Ganad Banawi Taytay Weavers Association or in short Lab ti Diwa. Daytoy nga organization kit in consolidate na ti weavers ditoy community mi nga dati skills na on weaving, specifically on tie-dye weaving. Kit may isang objective na dito yung organization, kit mamaster mi kuma dagiti designs and especially balin ko mga maipasa dagito nga skills kadagiti support sa runong nga generation. Amin nga members dito'y labtay day at dati sarili da nga activity jay balbalayda. Overall, DJ products me, it is towards improving the lab dye weaving. The market area me actually for our products kit very limited. The local kit we utilize the shop ni Mrs. Luglug dati walk-in tourist ejay. And then idi kit dati shop ijay Banawi Hotel, so we also consign some of our products. And when there are exhibits ijay Manila or in other areas dito Cordillera, that is where we also market our products. Actually, dagitoy textiles nga naabil mi ditoy, some of them we make it into skirts or blouse. Some we make them into throw pillows or bags or placemats. Dito yung pandemic actually kit medyo nag-slow down ba city production mi actually dito eh. Tahang kami nga makaumo-umo, sinit-sitada kami pa whenever we come together. But nevertheless, we had our production, ijay sarili mi nga balbalay. So intuloy mi nga nag-abil no umay kami lang nga agkulay ti thread mi iyo may mi ditoy center ta ditoy mi nga kulayan ditoy mi nga iluto agkulay and then numalpas i-warp mi santo manin may waras kadagiti miyembro. DJ actually ti naaramid kada ito'y pandemic. O DJ face mask, we actually, at dati naramid mi, intid mi as libre. Kadagiti co-members mi or dagiti members ti families da. And then later on, adamit intid mi kadagiti barangay officials. Then later on, we thought of selling also some of the face masks adamit ti nag-order online actually. So DJT may isang naging source of income with the association mi. We encourage the viewers or other interested people to buy our products. It has a unique quality. If you know the process of ikat weaving, you will really appreciate it. It's a bit costly, but we assure that it is naturally dyed. Mostly we use cotton thread. It has its uniqueness in its design because it is the creativity of the ikat masters to design. You can actually contact our president. She is Virginia Kabigat. Or you can contact me, Jacinta ngayon, or Mrs. Luglug. Those are the 3 persons whom you could contact because we can actually explain or coordinate with each other if there are some interested people who would like to purchase our products. My contact number is 0920-70-42670.
Shop ni Jocelyn Dumatug, Sales Manager ti Nesas Handicrafts and Pasalubong Products. Ti Laklakumi, ito yung Handwoven nga textiles, traditional. We have different designs na handwoven. If you buy our products, you're not only buying our product just for the purpose of having income, but you are also helping our local weavers, lalo-lalo na itatang at tiyempo, pandemic, narigat daw unay nga mangi-out iti product da, tulungan mi isuda, ken tulungan yung mga nga buyers, at tapno makasurvive da. Dakkel unay nga tulong, nagitoy buyers, uray no kaskas ano, matulungan mi nagitoy ni women weavers iti mabilong. Taisulang ti pagalaan da ti pangbayad at schooling na ito'y anak da. For our buyers outside and also ito'y nearby provinces, regions, you can contact us through email, nesaskalingawiving@yahoo.com, and our contact numbers mobile 0927-7207-935 and smart 0919-83-62210. Through FB account, we have Nesa Weaving.
Hello everyone, my name is Michelle Pinated Gaayon, owner of Baliktribo Fashion Accessories. This is our product that are made from Kalinga Women's, especially from Lubuagan Women's. This innovation in design enabled the Kalinga to share their cultural heritage. This fabric made with love, passion, dedication, and traditional. Here are some of our products. The Kalinga textile, or we call it Laga. Kalinga women's weavers produce hand-woven fabric for variety or use. We made or do home decors, accessories such as table runners, placemat, bags, different design of dresses, skirts, purse. Nowadays, the woven face mask. This is one of our sample hooded, scarf hooded sa mga mahilig ng scarf. You can use this anytime, anywhere if you want. Support our local product. Malaki pong tulong sa amin yan, especially sa mga weavers. Please contact us, our Facebook page, Baliktribo Fashion Accessories and Handicraft.
Naimbanggal sa patoy amin, siyak niyag dinda pagulungan ulukan, Presidente Tinamatak Weavers Association, dito Tinamatak sa Bangan Mountain Province. Kaya't mi nga introduce dagiti product mi nga inaramid mi na mabalin kat umay kay gumatang. Mabalin mo't nga order kayo iti product nga nya tiketyo. Dagitoy dagiti product ti Namatok Rivers Association iti Namatok Sabangan Mountain Province. Dagiti berbero ti color nga yelo. Mabalin mo't nga maramid nga skirt. Chaliko, kadagiti boys nga mangkaya iti yelo nga color. Adamo dagiti chaliko pangubing. No kaya ti ada design na o Jacqueline. Depende sa kulay kung anong gusto nyo. Ti skirt nga pangubing nga dahil ti design na no kaya yun. Para magtikastoy, mabalin mo't nga rami din tayo. Dahil di pares na. Dagiti berbero kiti chaliko, dagiti ni lalaki. Mabalin kayo mo't nga umagkita ito'y, kanya tikat yung nga color. Dapat ti skirt, dahil ti ko na nga pencil cut. Ada jay slanting, ada di jay nin straight or paatid dog. No kaya ti kaspat dress, mabalin mat skirt, mabalin ladta. Ada pa tibag gayan, mabalin kayo paramit tibag nga nya kaya tiyo. Mabalin kayo ladta umay toy or ang order. Ado pa iti napipintas nga bag meter no, kahit yung may agpasyar.
Siya ni Raymond Dakilungan nga kinbagit to'y Sagada Weaving and Souvenirs. Dito'y location mikot ada to'y likod ti munisipyo, dito'y poblasyon Sagada, Mountain Province. Dagito'y produkto mikot na duma-duma nga woven bags, woven hats, coin purses, backpacks, sling bags. Dapat may isang sling bag at the same time backpack. Iti may isang sample ti holster bag. Ti size na dahito ikot medium. At dapat ti rag bags nga out of ragas at nagbalin nga bags. Mabalin pa nga agpadait kayo ti kaya tiyo nga design basta adda ti makopya nga awit yo. Dahito ipay ang mini laptop.
No kaya order, kontakin nyo lang yung number 019-6630-841 or kita nyo yung Facebook page Julie Ulukan.
Do kasanudak nga makontak ada ti phone number ko 0946-259-1920. Salamat unay kada kayo.
Okay, so let's give it a round of applause to our weavers who are currently being supported under the Great Women Project 2. And again, this is a project funded by the Government of Canada in partnership with the Philippine Commission on Women, the DOST, DTI, DA, and partner institutions. So what we have shown you a while ago is a compilation of the AVPs featuring our local weavers here in the Cordillera Administrative Region.
So we had the glimpse of the unique and intricate textile and webs from the Cordillera region through a virtual exhibit. So we will have that in Facebook we will schedule per individual weaver.
Tama po yan. So we'll be showing this again, this feature video by province within the week in celebration of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Summit.
Okay, moving on to the next part, our press conference, not just with media, but with our participants as well, virtual and physically present. So medyo may mga tanong na. Unang tanong, bakit puro babae ang weavers?
Tama po yan.
Although the first was Mr. Agaid of Revival Dye.
Tama po. And now,
Nanood ako ha.
saan ka nanood, ma'am?
Diyan, I watch.
Ay, oo nga, kanina. No? Siya yung nasa first na video natin. Okay po. So once again, thank you very much for being here with us in the launching of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Development Plan 2020 to 2028. We will now be moving on or moving forward to the Weaving Press Conference headed by the Philippine Information Agency, Cordillera, along with DOST-CAR. So sino po yung kasama natin sa table ngayon, ma'am?
We have, of course, our chair of the SWIP, DOST Regional Director Nancy Bagtog, with the Vice Chair of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council, DTI-RD Juliet Lucas. We also have the President of Women's Organization, West Quirino Hill Barangay, Ms. Sandra Mazo, with Weaving Supervisor Narda Handwoven Arts and Crafts, Lorraine Gumeyak, Economic Specialist from NEDA-CAR, Ms. Virginia Anzeno, and Fashion Designer Julian Paran. So we're engaging our virtual participants as well to ask, comment, or raise their concerns about weaving industry in the Cordillera. Just raise your hand. Our secretariat will forward it to us.
Tama po yan, ma'am, no? So we are highly encouraging our participants joining us here at Paragon Hotel, joining us through our live streaming via Zoom and Facebook pages, and of course our media partners to please forward your questions to us regarding the Cordillera Weaving Industry Plan.
Okay, earlier we did have the launching, then the briefing about the Cordillera Weaving Industry Plan. And now, ready na tayo sa mga tanong
nila.
Komento, suggestion, recommendations, everything.
Tama po yan, ma'am. And I'm very sure na ready na rin po ang ating mga representatives dito, kasama natin sa harap, to answer the questions and to accept the comments and suggestions of our participants joining us physically and through virtual po, through our virtual platform.
Siguro hingan lang natin na short opening statements ang ating panelists. We'll start with Director Nancy Bantog.
Tama po. Good morning, Ma'am Nancy.
Naimbag nga agsapa manan, and to our listeners, viewers for this press con, naimbag nga aldaw tayo, and please stay with us. Tapno, jay clarifications yung katsungbatan dagitoy nasasaririt nga membro iti council.
Maraming salamat. Ngayon naman, pakinggan natin from DTI, the Vice Chair of the Council, Director Juliet Lucas.
Naimbag nga bigat tayo amin kakabsat. So we have just launched this roadmap for the Cordillera Weaving. Kat imbag manan, I will have to congratulate everyone for taking part of this crafting of the roadmap. Tata, we are united in terms of plans and activities. So I'm very sure with all the active participation of everybody, we will have a very vibrant industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Next po, may you also hear from the Senior Economic Development Specialist from the National Economic and Development Authority, Miss Virginia Anceno. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning po, sir. Good morning, Ma'am Helen. So sa lahat po, magandang umaga. In behalf of our Regional Director, Director Susan Sumbiling, good morning also. We're very sorry that she's also in an equally important activity. Actually, there is the RSC activity wherein she is also the chairman. And this activity was presented in one of the Regional Development Council meetings at hindi po nagdalawang isip ang RDC sa pag-approve ng plan na ito dahil sa nakikitang ikakabuti ng ating rehiyon. At sana po sa pag-launch ng ating activity na ito ay tuloy-tuloy na hanggang maabot natin ang ambisyon natin 2040.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Virgie Anceno from the National Economic and Development Authority dito sa CAR. Next naman po, may we also hear the opening message of Miss Julian Paran, one of our notable fashion designers here in the Cordillera. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning po sa ating lahat and thank you for inviting me sa ganitong event na same sa sa gusto naming i-push sa aming advocacy sa FADAL or the Fashion Designers Alliance. Yung grupo namin din is pushing na maging model for the for promoting and preserving our culture and our mismong woven textiles. And thank you.
They just had the fashion show at the Auto
Yes,
Camp.
ma'am. Bale, nagkaroon kami ng fashion exhibit, ma'am, ng mga gawa ng ating mga fashion designers, Cordilleran fashion designers din na ginagamit yung ating textiles.
Yan, so congratulations no
Thank
for
you,
that
sir.
for that successful event in partnership with our weavers and local fashion designers dito sa Cordillera. We also have here Miss Sandra Mazo, President of the Women's Organization in West Quirino Hill here in Baguio City. Good morning, Ma'am Sandra.
Oh, on behalf of Sandra, I'm Tessie.
Hi, Ma'am Tessie.
Sorry. Agyaman kami met iti nakaimbitaran dagiti weavers because I think we are the most concerned nga participant iti daytoy. Kat we are hoping that the problems of that we will meet, I think, maybe it's not the problems, but the concerns of the weaving industry will be addressed. Iti daytoy nga summit. Kat I hope also nga it won't only tackle on the fashion because not every one of us are textile weavers. I hope the plan will extend to the other woven products. Thank you.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Tessie, representing the Women's Organization in West Quirino Hill here in Baguio City.
Ma'am Tessie Akot.
Ma'am
Ma'am
Tessie
Tessie
Akot.
Akot.
Yan. Good morning po once again. And of course, last but not the least, our Assistant Regional Director for Technical Services at the DOST-CAR, Dr. Pepita Pikpikan. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. Representing the Technical Working Group of the Council, from the launching of our SWIDUP today, so we at the Technical Working Group will be expecting to start and go on with our respective functions as stated in the SWIDUP as discussed by RD Nancy a while ago. Good morning po to all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So even before this launching, nag-start na pong magtrabaho ang ating newly created Cordillera Weaving Industry Council.
Okay, handa na po ang mga kasamahan natin. Una muna, mga media magtatanong. Primo Agatep of Amianan Balita Ngayon and AP, Associated Press.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Director. Ma'am, my first question is addressed to
the panelists, Ma'am Director Lucas, ma'am, or Ma'am Bantog. You have a plan, you have a working plan to execute it. I just read, can I just forward? We heard the thoughts and problems besetting the weavers. You have just presented the AVR. You have just presented the long plan. But my question now is, how are you now addressing the issues as far as the COVID-19 on an immediate basis, ma'am? Since you enumerated, Ma'am Nancy, issues and challenges, you had enumerated 7, but for the immediacy, how would you like to address the problems besetting the weavers now, as presented in the AVR? Thank you, ma'am.
We'll start with DTI, Director Lucas.
The most glaring issue na pinakita kanina is yung mga sinasabi ng mga weavers sa AVP, hindi raw sila nakakapagbenta during the pandemic, which is very true because of the logistics, tapos yung mga yung hindi na pumupunta yung mga tourist. We used to sell physically. So how did we address this for the whole year of 2020 since the start of the pandemic? And looking at the market behavior shifting from physical buying to online buying, we also made a lot of capacitation, and the credit does not only go to DTI, it goes also with other agencies who have been capacitating the MSMEs to adapt online selling either in any platform available. So the most popular is Facebook. At saka they even do live selling, so they even communicate by way of texting and email. So yun ang ginawa natin sa kanila. So e-commerce became a very common byword sa marketing natin ngayon. And we continue, even if they are medyo elderly, medyo they are really learning the strategy of going online. So that is also getting the support of the younger generation of the students, and hopefully this one will continue and our products will go through with all this platform being implemented at hand.
Director Bantot.
Thank you, Sir Primo, for that challenging question. Yes, that's on e-marketing. That was answered already by Director Juliet. Sa skills training naman, yes, we are all one in the same sa council na we are doing the hybrid way of capacitating our MSMEs. Virtual ladta, hybrid ladta, iti ikasta nga mang-train kinyada. There are really challenges. Karkaron o the workshop. Inya, how could the trainers, kas pagarigan ni Ma'am Jolien, who will teach the designing, kasano nga makita na no usto actually the output of our MSMEs when we do the workshop. That is the challenge, but it's better do it virtually than nothing. So we still pursue skills training, capacity building through virtual platforms.
Ma'am, can I just follow up to Ma'am Lucas, ma'am? You said the e-marketing, how much, for example, how much the share, ma'am, of market share locally and export-wise globally, ma'am? We had the pandemic, the challenge. Then how does the weavers now marketing their product? Malaki ba ang share ng locally in the Philippines? Does Filipinos buy our products? Well, of course they do. But as far as compared to global market, do we have orders, something like that?
So far, exporting was medyo challenge during the time of the pandemic, especially so on the processing of export. But what they did was to come up, to participate in international platforms like eBay, Amazon. So these are international platforms, no, that is able to promote our products globally. And so far, there are about 6 of them who were able to penetrate the international market through these international platforms. And
During
this
the
was
pandemic,
through,
6.
Yes, yeah, 6. And this was because of the several trainings and capacitation that has been provided to firm-level enterprises.
Ma'am, lastly. How much does the government infuse as far as skills training or further development, capacitate, skills training? How much does the government infuse, ma'am, for 2020 or forward-looking?
So we'll ask NEDA, or it depends upon agencies.
40 agencies yun. So how does that, paano yan ang funding niyan?
Meron po kaming baseline data but from the government. So yung investment generated as our baseline is 5 billion. 5,780,000. 5M, ma'am? Oh yeah, 5.
What's that 5M, ma'am? Program to what? 5M program to, is it capacity, skills training, or marketing?
Marketing, lahat na, sir.
Okay. Last, paano po makukuha ng isang weavers organization po yan? How could they avail, ma'am?
Yung may mga mandated agencies po that are providing this assistance to the weavers group. So like we have from DTI, DOST. So DOLE. And DSWD among others, who consider the weavers group as their beneficiaries. Yun, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank you, ma'am. May iba naman media.
Maraming salamat, Primo. Bago ang katanungan ni Romy Gonzalez of DCRH, we have an online question via Zoom from Carl Taawan. Why not upgrade the term instead of calling wall decors? Call those produce textile art pieces since they represent the Cordillera culture. Not wall decors, but textile art pieces.
Why not? That's a very good idea, especially so that we are coming from a creative city, which is Baguio, and also that could reterming or coming up with better terms for our product and implying the quality, the best feature or attribute of this product is also a very good marketing activity. So why not?
Now we have from DCRH, Romy Gonzalez.
Magandang tanghali po. I'm just wondering, ilan ba yung mga weavers natin, the Cordillera, saan yung talagang siguro kumikita in as far as local is concerned? Kasi yung susunod may i-derive ko yung answer. Ilan yung natin,
how many weavers?
Weavers do we have na Cordillera so far?
We have a data here, and there are 258 known weaving firms in the distributed in the different provinces. So this is an industry that cuts across all provinces of CAR, and they are employing about 3,800 weavers aggregately. Kang sinasabi mo kung saan portion sila kumikita. So look, in the value chain, saan kumikita sino ang kumikita sa industriya? So number one is the supplier of thread. And that's a big challenge because unless we substitute the imported raw materials, wala man tayong thread except for the raw fibers or the natural fibers that we are producing in the country. All the rest are being imported. So that's about 32%. And 25% yung ating labor. So doon kumikita ang laborious na paghahabi, doon kumikita ang mga weavers natin. And of course, administrative yung mga managers, and the rest is of course the the other indirect materials that is used for coming up with the products. So we are really capitalizing the income is really on the part of the weavers who do the craftsmanship, the ethnicity, and everything about this raw yarn in order to become a very good fabric.
Kasi I've been to our province in Abra, taga-Abra kasi ako, yung sa may Lapas, yung mga weavers doon nakausap ko. Usually, yung mga weavers doon, per piece kasi yung binabayad sa kanila. And kung sino yung namamahala ng grupo nila, yun ang nagmamarket ng kanilang product. That was before the pandemic. Of which talagang maganda yung market nila because they were able to sell their products outside of the country. But now, problema ngayong pandemic. Now, meron ba tumatangkilik na yung mga fashion designers sa mga produkto natin? Because I believe, kung hindi natin siguro matouch yung ibang mga market natin abroad, what about yung fashion designers natin? Ang dami yata sa Pilipinas. Meron na bang mga fashion designers na talagang mahilig o kaya tinatangkilik yung mga produkto, mga weavers natin from the Cordilleras?
We have a fashion designer here, Miss Julienne.
Good morning, sir. Bale, yung na-create na group namin, which is the Fashion Designers Alliance of Baguio na dating Baguio, tas Cordillera na siya ngayon. In-expand namin siya to welcome also other designers from other provinces. And nakita ko na madami po kaming mga designers na tumatangkilik ng ating textiles tapos ginagamit para sa sa mga wearables natin. So magandang expansion to for the weaving industry kasi hindi lang sa mga fashion accessories, actually bags kasi ang pinakamaraming nakikita ko, and mga table runners, pang mga household. So parang pag na-expand natin siya sa fashion, baka magawa natin yung aim namin na maging everyday wear siya. Masali natin siya sa everyday wear para lumaki yung market din at matulungan din natin yung mga weavers natin.
Tanungin din natin si Ma'am Tessie. Ma'am Tessie?
What's the direct question?
Use as fashion
Use
yung
fashion.
ating Cordillera.
Sa amin kasi ma'am, hindi ako masyadong makakatnano dun sa textile because we're not doing textile actually sa West Quirino Hill. The products show most of yung nasa exhibit is yun ang products namin. So, sa fashion, I can't comment on it. Kasi, pero meron kaming from Middle Quirino Hill, meron sila, connected sila sa Bayo. Yun, sila yung kumukuha ng mga products nila.
Supplier sila.
Oo. Bali, dinadala ng Bayo sa kanila yung mga materials, tapos sila rin yung kukuha ng products. I think so. Pero sa amin dun sa Quirino Hill is yung mga house accessories, yung mga ganun, from foot rugs to wall decors din. Pero yun naman, ang kailangan kasi namin is a training for us to, para maano nila yung tamang costing sana para hindi nagbabagsakan ng presyo. Kasi meron naman silang meron kaming buyers actually kahit papaano local nga lang. Tapos doon na bumabagsak yung pag nawawalan na ng pera yung mga tao dahil nga sa ganito na konti na lang yung buyers, wala ng foreign at saka wala ng local tourist. Para may tapno lang ada maisaang na digay apanda ibagsakan ka dagijay da buyers da. At saka manmanulang gamin dagijay buyers for our products. So dagijay matdaduman ngay kat ag-inunadan nga pan ag-supply kasi pababaan na ng presyo. Iso DJ mati kayat mi nga dawatan, iso sa bagay na gibaganti testa on how to address DJ nga probleman, kat buwan tap no maamuan mi ngay DJ, ay tap no maamuan ti kaaduan DJ tamang costing sana, yung proper costing. Yes.
Nandun na rin tayo, ma'am. Nung before prior pandemic, ma'am, kumusta yung industry natin in terms of peso, yung kinikita ng ating mga weavers, as compared now? Sino kayang sa NEDA?
Director, ay tanungin natin ang...
Okay. Before the pandemic, kahit papaano, at the price is good, yung production is good, tapos dagi kaadwan nga kanyami, kasi sa Quirino Hill is one loom, siya na rin yung may-ari, ganon. Wala na yung, hindi na yung masyadong, hanggang nga kaslaidi nga aduti one person, may mga weavers siya. Pero dahil sa kawalan ng materialis din, very limited, tapos ang mahal-mahal na rin ng mga materials. So, isang house, meron siyang, just to support the family income. Pero okay lang yung flow ng bilihan. Kan the price mo at least mas mataas. Hindi gaya nung naging pandemic na wala nang materyales, hindi ka makalabas, through online mat lang, tapos nagida dumamat lang nga buyers nga umay mat lang jayan mi, isudat timang ala, kaya lang at jingay pababaan, kas lang ay bidenda iti, kuwagapot amudang agkasapulan, bidenda at a lower price. Pero but before the pandemic, it was very good. Dagdakil mat lang effect na daytoy pandemic kasi walang masyadong bumibili.
Can I ask, kumusta yung industriya natin prior to that pandemic noon sa in terms of yung market niya compared to other products na kasabay din ng mga textile natin from the Cordilleras? Sinong pwedeng kayo sumagot?
Director Lucas? Weaving or tong home styles and wearables natin was not the priority during the pandemic. So the priority was on food.
Food, yes.
And aside from small patches of mga housewares that enlivens the house when we were all on lockdown, yun ang mga nabebenta. So kaya nga sinasabi nila nag-suffer talaga yung industry because of this pandemic na hindi naging siya yung priority ng ating consumers noon. So ngayon, there has to be a shift in trends because nag-shift na rin yung priorities ng ating ano. So our R&D has to be very dynamic to be able to come up with the trends and then the consumer's preference when it comes to materials, functionality ng mga products. So like for example, yung mga food trucks nila, sabi nila it had became the revenue stream. It is because during the pandemic, that is a very essential product. Cleaning the house is a thing to do by among our consumers.
Kasi napapansin ko, ma'am, mas mabili ngayon yung mga produktong ang segunda mano sa online eh. Di ba? Mas maraming bumibili ngayon ng mga segunda mano as compared sa mga magagandang textile po natin dito sa Cordillera. Yun lang ang observation ko. Thank you po.
Okay. We have another question.
Okay, so thank you very much, sir. No? So back at our via Zoom, meron po tayong question again from Sir Carl Taawan, who is joining us right now via Zoom meetings. In fashion and design, how do we determine we are not crossing the line of cultural appropriation, particularly with the usage of local weaving? Where does our creative license end?
Hirap na tanong. Sorry.
Medyo technical. Technical, ma'am.
Miss Julian.
Ayun. So for me, sir, we have to do our own research at saka i-educate natin yung sarili din natin. As people of the Cordilleras, tayong mismong mga igorot, dapat alam natin yung dapat at hindi dapat, yung mga do's and don'ts in wearing and using our textile. So, parang example is yung paggamit ng mismong traditional wares like the bahag and the tapis and cutting it and making it into another clothes into clothes pala. So parang yun, doon mismo parang culture, ano na siya, parang naapakan na natin yung ano natin sa culture. So another is yung paggamit din natin ng mga death blankets, making them as table runners or pang ng mga sofa, ganun. Nakita ko siya. So parang dapat kung tayo mismo na na mga indigenous people na nakakakita sa mga ganitong kamalian, dapat i-educate natin, sabihin din natin na kung ano yung dapat. So kasi ngayon uso sa social media ang bashing. So sobrang lakas. Ngayon, sana natin, instead of bashing, i-correct na lang natin and be an example din to others. Yun po.
Director Nancy.
Yes, RD Helen. Regarding cultural appropriation nga, on our end, lahat tayo dapat, especially in the government, should educate all our weavers on the do's and don'ts. Nasabi ni Ma'am Jolien yun. We started our seminar on our weavers for Baguio and Benguet. That was, I think, 2 months ago. This was conducted by Benguet Science and Technology Center regarding cultural appropriation. We really need to educate our weavers nga, anya ba ti usaran nyo for this kind of product? There are designs that are too sensitive on the part of the culture of our indigenous peoples here in the Cordilleras. At the meaning da nga sacred, nga mabalin nga basta-basta. And that is something that we must really inculcate or imbibe in the entrepreneurial minds of our weavers and designers. So we are starting to do that. We can always ask NCIP as our resource person. Last time we invited Director Anungos of Benguet State University who discussed that topic.
For Miss Virgie, alamin natin sa RDC, sabi nga ni Miss Julian, patronize our own. Do we have any RDC resolution urging all government employees at least to wear something ethnic or Cordillera?
Thank you, ma'am, for that question. So far, at the regional level, wala pa pong official na requesting the government. But there is a national directions from the civil service. And if it's from civil service, it will go down also at the regional. However, it's more of dressing up in a Filipiniana wears. But siguro for RDC in its next steps is perhaps through this committee to come up with a resolution asking all the government institutions to support the industry by pushing them to wear Cordillera dresses, among others. Yeah. Cordillera-inspired dresses. And for these pandemics also, perhaps we could start by using this kind of cloth for our face shield, face masks, among others.
Ma'am Helen, may I add on that? Thank you for that insight. Maybe the council will push for a regional issuance regarding that. But I read in the Facebook pages in some of the provinces that they have local ordinances regarding the use of Cordillera-inspired uniforms in their offices. Hindi ko lang maalala kung anong municipality or province yun. But thank you for that very good insights for the council.
Another online question. We have from UP, si
Hello,
Dr.
Ikin Salvador Amores from Corditex UP Baguio. I just want to reiterate that there is already a national law, RA 1183, regarding the Tropical Fibers Act which requires all government agencies to wear traditional handwoven clothing, no, for offices. Meron na po yun. And then, since I'm at it, may I ask the question, because we are working on the ground with the Cordillera region. We found some of the DTI looms, no, from different weaving communities. There's a mismatch of the DTI looms given to the community, so hindi nagagamit. Paano po yun? How do you deal with it? Kasi there's a loom that is embodied by the weaver, like you see in the photo there, yung backstop loom, meron ding foot loom. So may mga looms na pinapadalo sa community pero hindi po siya nagagamit because there's a mismatch. How do we deal with this po? Because that's wasted resources.
Director Lucas?
Actually, we have a regular monitoring of this. You are referring to the shared service facilities, no? So ano ba yung pagkakamali na yan is during the time of procurement or getting the right specification of the facility from the users themselves. So when it did not happen, there is what we call the wrong product delivered to the beneficiaries. So that could be remedied by by our monitoring at the ground. So when they come up with such monitoring, and then we have to come up with appropriate action relative to making it work. So yung may mga pinapa-repair tayo sa mga facilities na ito, or if it does not really work on that specific beneficiary, then we have to propose that for another cooperator who could be using it.
Ma'am, can I just follow up also? Because the husbands of weavers are also carpenters. So you can also tap the husbands of weavers who can actually build the loom for them, no? Kasi most of the income would go to the women, no? So parang gendered din na we also tap the husbands, no, to work as well in building their own looms. Kasi some of the weaving communities that we visited, it's the husbands who made the loom for them. Ergonomically size, yung tama sa katawan, and then at a certain width, following a traditional framework of producing a traditional loom.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. That's a very good idea. However, our procurement system in government has to deal with the legitimate business entity. So what we are trying to say is come up with an investment promotion for these locals to be registered as a business entity that will be capable of negotiating for that kind of transaction with government. So we really hope, no, dun din kasi ang challenge ng procurement system natin, wherein government has to deal only with so sana yung mga husbands, may cooperative sila, may mga organization sila that turns out into an entity and is capable of transacting business with the government.
Sorry. With the weavers po kasi, they lack literacy for the field jobs, for instance, kasi most of the weavers are hand-to-mouth, no? Especially with the remote communities that we visited, hindi sila aware dito sa literacy ng pagrehistro sa field jobs, no, ganyan. So sana kung may sa procurement, maybe you can, I don't know how to help them kasi mahirap din po yung situation.
Actually, we saw that challenge, a big challenge really to some of our small businesses. And that is why in our negosyo center trainings, we are also including them as topics, yung how to register with field jobs, or they even go to the, yung mga we have to reach out. We have to advise our craftsmen or our producers to reach out to the offices who can help them. Kasi madali lang yun, kaya lang there has to be somebody who has to help them. So pwede silang mag-reach out to their LGU, to the DTI, at sa iba't ibang government agencies that could help them in that aspect. So we really advise everybody for everything that you need, reach out to the government agencies, especially because nilalagay naman natin lahat ang ating mga services online, so it is accessible anywhere. Para, kasi sa atin nakikita natin ang complete menu of services from government. It's just that we have to reach out. And at the same time, government offices are also doing their part in going to our respective clients.
So reaching out two-way, you reach out, the government reaches out also to the grassroots. Okay.
Can I address also yung sabi mo na looms na hindi nagagamit? Kasi kung iana-ana ko dun sa amin sa Quirino Hill, ang requirement kasi noon, kailangang may space na pupuntahan yung looms na nabigay. So ang sa amin, wala namang building yung barangay namin kung saan namin pwedeng ilagay. At saka big looms kasi yon. So mayroon namang mga individuals na gustong kumuha nun, kaya lang the requirement of the DTI, I think, or the agency that gave the loan, ay kailangan yun nakalagay sa isang center. So we're very sorry, we're one of that, na wala kaming space na panlalagyan. So the loom was not used actually for at least almost 2 to 3 years, I think. Yun na nandun. Kasi yung problema na ganun nga, na kailangan nila na iisang lugar yung pupuntahan ng looms. Very willing naman yung mga individuals na kunin sa bahay nila. Pero hindi naman pwede na pupunta lahat yung looms doon sa isang lugar lang. Ganun yun.
Okay, Miss Annalyn, yes.
Opo, kasi some of the weavers also based on our research, they cannot stand 8 to 5 going to the center. That's another problem. So if I may suggest with the DTI, if you can be flexible with the monitoring to bring the looms to the houses of the weavers, kasi a weaver is also a mother, housekeeper, everything. So the weaving aspect is only part of their daily activities. So to be more flexible, I hope they can consider that. One last question po. In the geographic indicator of the national in the Philippines, naka-patent na po ang weaving ng Mindanao only and the bagtason of Antique, dalawa na po. I was wondering if the group can also identify in the Cordillera what is unique to be part of these geographic indicators. Geographic indicators are a form of protection for the product, the artisan, the craft, to be recognized with their craftsmanship and all. So, dalawa lang po ang meron ngayon dyan, yung tinalak ng Mindanao, and then the bagtason, the patadjong of Antique, bagtason weavers. So I was wondering what can we do in the Cordillera?
Actually, that is possible, but let me request Ma'am Jean to answer that because from the IPO field. IPO field. So Intellectual Property Office.
We have here Engineer Jean Dangkeo from the Intellectual Property Office, Satellite Office here in Baguio to provide additional insight po. Good morning, ma'am.
Hello, good morning. I'm sorry. What was the question again? Sorry, I was receiving a call.
To register or...
It's about geographical indicators. So yung isang nakaregister dito is the Tinalak of Mindanao. So is there a possibility where in our local designs here could be also registered as like that?
Okay, so firstly, pag sinabi mo kasi na geographical indication, this is a branding specific for products with qualities that are attributable to its geographical location. So, ibig sabihin nito, like, one proposed for CAR is yung coffee. So, if the quality of the coffee is attributable to its geographical location, it can qualify under GI, or geographical indication. However, for weaving, if it pertains to the design, hindi siya i-cover ng geographical indication kasi technically that is branding. But for the design, if they want it registered, it can qualify under another registration which is branding or trademark. Yun po. But if, for example, we have, yung sa tinalak po kasi, ang reason why it received AGI marking is because of the practice. Yung practice nila, if it is something very unique and the quality of the product is attributable to that practice, pwede siya sa GI. So pwede din po for CAR if yung practices nila is unique. Like kunyari yung sa natural dyeing which was mentioned a while back. So if that's very, so if it's, so kung if the quality of the product is attributable to that practice which is unique in the Cordillera, it might qualify under GI. But if we want to protect the design of these textile hand-woven designs, it can be registered under industrial design. Pero it should be an improvement of what's already available. So usually kapag yung mga cultural-based na mga designs, hindi na siya pwede for registration under Intellectual Property Office, but it is protected under IPRA law. Yun. So, na-capture ko po ba or nasagot ko po ba yung question? So GI, pwede po if may unique practices or pwede din naman sa raw material, and the quality of the product is attributable to that. For the design, it can also be registered under another registration for purposes of exclusive rights, which is trademark. So actually, most of those presented kanina and even those at the back, a lot of them already filed for their trademark for branding. Yun po. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat, Ms. Jean Dangkeo. We're getting online questions, so we request quick answers and kasi marami na tayong katanungan sa text and online.
So once again, we have another question here from Zoom meeting. So joining us virtually is Dr. Raimundo Rovillos, one of the professors at the University of the Philippines, Baguio, and chair of the Baguio Creative Council. So his question is the establishment of a CAR design center part of the development plan?
Director Nancy.
Hello, Sir Ray. Yes, part of the plan, if we will look into the plan, is the recognition that we need to establish a training and design center in CAR. So it's part of the plan. Tutulong ka dito, Sir Ray. Ano?
Okay, another question. How is the government regulating the weavers that mushroomed in the different parts of the Cordillera? While it is good that more people have livelihood through weaving, there's a problem on the increasing number of weavers, including the designs market support from government. And how can we help them as well on the design? Kasi it's just like joining a bandwagon of the same designs. Director Juliet?
Okay. We have what we call the OTOP Next Gen program with DTI. And that is a program wherein products are assessed, designs are developed. But of course, these designs will be a product of researches of the designers tapped, for the aspect now. So, as I have said, we are limited to a number of with number of MSMEs that are already market ready, yung mga yung marketing nila. So that is what we prioritize. But at the same time, while we do this in the OTOP Next Gen, there are a lot of product development activities that are also being done at the grassroots. And we also have institution with DTI, that Design Center of the Philippines, that we can also tap. Aside from that, we also give our trade promo officers information about trends. So in terms of colors, in terms of forms of the different products that we are using.
Okay, so thank you very much for... yes, ma'am. Ma'am Nancy, additional answer po.
Yes, pandagdag lang. Okay yung sinabi ni RD Juliet regarding trends in designs where we capacitate our weavers. And I think it's part of the webinar. That's the last part regarding designs. And at this point, I would like to challenge our weavers that the TESDA is recently deploying the national certification of weavers on handloom. So may standards na tayo regarding that, the NC2 of weavers on upright loom. And we had dissemination together with our GWP project. Kailan yun, Hector? Last month, wherein we invited TESDA and discussed how our weavers would access and be certified. That is one way to maintain the quality of our products, and that is one way to professionalize the weavers, their skills in weaving. So ma-certified they will be accredited. So dati trainings in terms of loom weaving, they will be the first one to be tapped. So adadiyayan.
So that is very good news, no ma'am? Meron na po tayong NC2 for upright loom weaving. Tama po, yan. Yes, Ma'am Virgie.
As a rejoinder, the region has this called the Investment Priorities Plan. And I think number 3 is itong support to be provided for the handloom weaving industry. So for its use, for example, if there are investors who would like to invest to CAR, we will push among the industries is the weaving industry. And we also would like to monitor that these investors and agencies that for their projects to be implemented.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for your answers po.
May I just add, because relative to trends, no? Like for example, these days we receive some information that the market is good with the recycled materials. So like for example, you are weaving jean material na nakukuha natin sa mga retaso, no, mga. And then we also have vegan apparels. Then we also have cotton. And cotton, so we are now heavy on the investment promotion for cotton production. And for me, there is a big market for special sizes. So in my case, short and stout, may mga market yon. So another one is the market is very concerned about sustainable production. So yung yung hindi masyadong malaki yung carbon emission yung pagpa-process.
Okay, we have other questions here. Ito muna. To help the weaving industry, while the DOST, DTI, and DOT encourage the RDC to let government agencies use Cordillera weaving cloth or textiles as uniforms or even accent on uniforms. This will be a great help if government agencies will be using this. Sana po ma-enforce yung Cordillera weave. Kung hindi pwedeng every 5 days, at least on a Monday or a certain date. Another comment po, ito po tanong, regarding pinapalitan ang tatak. Ano po ang pwede natin gawin sa dumadaming weavers na pare-parehas ang designs at tatak na lang ang papalitan para mabili ito from the original? Actually, ni-name yung pinalitan na marami na ang gumagaya. How can we address this?
Actually, that is a common practice in our Cordillera kasi na they are joining the bandwagon of the science. He is Mr. Ezra Aranduque. They are the pioneer weaving industry, weaving firm in Sagada. So they started 1966. They have a design and he had it patented. But even with just a few tweaking of the design, parang hindi naman yan nakakaso sa ating sa infringement ng ating design patent or design trademarks or so actually ang sinasabi natin, ang pinopromote natin is creativity. So being different will make you more marketable. So yung mga our weavers or our firms has to be very dynamic when it comes to design development, diba?
One of the victims. Sagada Weaving. Yes, sir. We have, sir, from Sagada Weaving.
I wouldn't view it as one of the victims. Pero siguro the government also or the different line agencies, including the educational institutions, i-inculcate din natin siguro the education part of it. Na ginawa na ng isa, ayusin mo. Pagandahin mo bago mo rin gawin. I mean, it's just like a sari-sari store. I open up a sari-sari store, I sell Coke and I sell Skyflakes. Nakita mong kumikita. So you set up a sari-sari store of your own and you sell Coke and Skyflakes. We end up fighting. Diba? But what if you sell Royal True Orange and a different kind of biscuit? We will both be selling and everybody happy. That's a Filipino mentality. Cold crab. Sorry. Yun lang. Siguro, tayo na nandito, we are all stakeholders. Let's be more creative. Let's bring out the artist in us. So, yun lang ang may dadagdag ko doon. Mahirap na sabihin na I'm one of the victims. Thank you po.
Maraming salamat. We have another...
Okay
yes,
po.
yung
So
online
we have another online question here via Zoom, from our colleagues at the Provincial Science and Technology Center in Ifugao. So, meron daw po bang technician who is capable to troubleshoot yung mga sirang looms, specifically the upright looms? Thank you po.
Director Nancy.
Okay, pag DOST family, we have the PTRI, that's the Philippine Textile Research Institute. And in one of the looms that we deployed before, it did not work for Sir Ezra because ang thread na ginagamit natin sa Sagada and the tightness, ngay nga angkop diya in deploy tayo idi. So we gave that in one of the provinces and it became non-functional after some time. And we outsourced it from a retired personnel of PTRI, who is also an agency developing looms. So yun ang nakikita ko na isa na pwedeng doon tayo mag-ask ng expertise. And I don't know if we can outsource this also to other service providers. We will look into that for us to have more providers in terms of repairing our looms.
Okay.
Kasi sayang nga naman,
We have a question here from UP Baguio, Miss Nina Tesoro.
Good afternoon po. My question po is for Dr. Lucas. Ma'am, you mentioned earlier that you are invigorating creativity po in DTI. My dissertation kasi is on creativity, and I'm wondering how or what components of creativity does DTI discuss in their workshops? Is there an endemic definition of creativity in CAR, for example, with the IPs?
Creativity is an endless opportunity and an endless possibility, no? But in our program sa Autumn Next Gen, we heavily rely on the capabilities of the designers. However, of course, we have to give the background to the designer that we have creative city. We have this cultural inclination of our people, and which makes them different from others in the other regions. So, yun ang mga background. We really give backgrounders to our designers so that they will be more researchful when it comes to giving or providing designs and product ideas for our MSMEs.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you, Ma'am Nina Tesoro. We have another question here from Ms. Abigail May Bulayungan, representing the Philippine Export CAR. Please proceed here in front, ma'am.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Relative to our gearing towards the production and the market, we from the PhilExport have the fear of having bulk orders, and we won't be able to produce. Now, connect relative to SSF with, I would like to second the motion with the issue that Dr. Ikin from UP said. We understand that SSF is a flagship program of DTI, and we are happy about that. Especially to the weaving industry, since this is one of the priority industries that we have. Now, the SSF are being provided to eligible cooperators like the government units or private entities. And in terms of the counterparts of the beneficiaries, they provide the structure for the machineries to be housed. And at the end of the users, which are the weavers, we call them to stay and weave at the facility from morning, like 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. But the issue here is our weavers don't like na, di ba, we understand the usufruct agreement that the machineries are not allowed to be brought to the individual weavers. Now, from the weaving industry, we would like to ask is there any possibilities or is there any way for the DTI to at least permit, I know that it's quite hard, but at least permit the machines, the loom weaving machines, to be brought home, and we will get some agreements also at the end of the weavers that they will have to protect and let it be really intact kasi nakasalalay dito ang DTI, hindi sila. And kasi ang weavers, they do at home, they only do backstrap weaving, which is a very limited production, di ba? But if they will be using the loom weaving machines, they would be able to provide yards and yards and yards of the textiles. Now, gustuhin man ng mga weavers talaga no provide, because they also are beneficiaries of the weaving programs, the weaving trainings and seminars that the DTI, we are happily being beneficiaries of those, but we won't be able to produce that much. Unlike sa backstrap, we only provide like 4 yards of the textile in like 3 days. Wherein if we can use the loom weaving machine, we can provide like in a week, we can provide 60 yards of the fabric. So, ang laki talaga ng production capacity na i-provide if there is a chance that the loom weaving machines are being brought home by the weavers. So, yun sana
Thank
ang-
you. Thank you, Abby. I got your concern.
Yeah.
But look at we have guidelines to follow, no? So that's a guideline that was set for the program. And that program says that we have to safeguard these facilities.
Yeah.
And it is for a shared, yung shared
Yeah.
na feature of the kwan. Hindi yan nagiging para sa iisa lang. We are for sharing the use of these facilities. So yan ang concern natin dito sa mga shared service facilities. That's why in the very beginning when mga producers apply for these facilities, that has been a very good condition, the condition that they agreed upon. So another one is we are also looking. It is supposed to improve on the quality and productivity of these products, no? The quality, in a way, is looking at standards. So, when they are put in the same center, it becomes, yung mga quality control ba is easier. That was our concern. So, ang sinasabi natin dito, it is your like against what we have, what the guideline is. So, unless the guideline makers go back to the discussion table and take consideration of your concern, that's the only time we can allow. But for now, it could be harsh. So in many ways, there are things naman na we can talk about, but we follow still guidelines. And
Yes, I understand. But, you know, ma'am, like, ang concern namin, nasasayangan din kami sa mga loom weaving machines because, like in, let's say, first 3 months or even less than 3 months, the weavers don't go na. And nangyayari, na-stagnant na yung mga machines sa facility. Nangyayari, napupull out na siya and being brought to other provinces. Who can use that? Who can make use of the machineries? So, I hope, maybe, kung hindi man po ngayon, hopefully you can come up in the future para na, marami pa naman tayo mga weavers na parating pa para ano.
for now, we note.
Yes, ma'am, please. Yeah, kasi that is one really big issue sa mga weavers na na-encounter namin. And of course, sa production, kasi nga we are gearing up din naman sa PhilExport. Diba?
Natatawa kami dito ni RD Juliet because kami rin may ganyan. Talagang sa structural, wala kasi sa budget ng government to provide that. That's really the counterpart of our beneficiaries. And meron din kaming experience na ganyan. We deployed looms in one community, but because they cannot provide, as they have promised, the venue, the common building for that, we transferred those looms to another community. And sabi nga ni Ma'am Juliet, we will look into that. Kami rin, may ganyan, but we are bound to follow the guidelines as the programs are really designed that way with some benefits that we are looking at, no gamin in one area. But we are taking note of those concerns.
Alright.
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Maraming salamat po. We have one question for ARD Pepita Pikpikan. How ready are we in the rollout of the Cordillera Weaving Development Plan? The rollout, the implementation of the Cordillera Weaving Plan.
Okay. Ma'am, we are all ready. We are all ready to start the implementation of those programs indicated in our SWIDOP. Since kanya-kanyang yung mga agencies na involved doon, naka-enroll yung kanya-kanyang programs aligned to weaving. Thank you.
Actually, we have started 2 years ago, 2018, when you drafted the plan. Okay, we have the remaining 2 online questions. Number 1, how would you describe the weaving industry of the Cordillera today? Is it dying art or a booming industry? Director Lucas or Director Nancy? The state of the weaving industry in the Cordillera.
Okay, the state of the weaving industry in the Cordillera. It is improving day by day with all the open-mindedness, especially among the weavers. And we capitalize on the creativity also of our weavers. We capitalize on the programs, projects, and services of the government agencies, especially that marami na sa government ang nagsusupport sa weaving because we recognize that weaving is really a regional and a niche industry in our region.
Relative to that, because we're coming up with industry profiles, we request the responses, complete responses of the stakeholders to the call for yung mga survey. It's a weaving survey wherein we are sending forms of a profile form for the weavers and the other stakeholders to fill up and send back. Kasi from that profile of the different stakeholders, we will be able to come up with a more factual state of the weaving industry. So, pag may survey na ganyan, we appeal that you give us your responses. Please take time. Kasi it is only then that we will get your true status. Thank you.
Actually, when we were preparing this plan, ang dami nating data na hindi makapture, our baseline data. So, ang nakalagay na information dito sa ating plan, those are rough estimate and may not be able to capture actually the facts that relates to the state of the weaving industry in CAR. Kagaya ng na-mention ni Virgie kanina, our investment is this much. We are supporting how many stakeholders, but those were a result of our focus group discussion and from the data of the government agencies. Kulang-kulang pa yon. Now, sabi ni Ma'am Juliet, we are already deploying the survey to all our weavers. That way, we have an accurate data to look into when we are already implementing our programs.
Okay. Thank you very much po for your answers. Next, we also have another question from the Lab Tidiwa in Ifugao, another weaving association in Ifugao. There's a great demand for sablay, and it seems nobody wants to teach or coach the designs. Can somebody, or to whom are we going to request for the design training like sablay? Thank you po. I think they're referring to the sablay used by UP graduates po, no? Anybody from the panel or from Dr. Ikin Amores from UP Baguio? Dr. Ikin, please share your thoughts regarding this question po.
And there are also others using sablay already, but really ang UP ang trailblaze the use of sablay.
I think for the sablay, we know that Easter Weaving is producing. And the one in Iloilo is also producing the sablay. So I think for the weavers sa Club Tie-Dye in Banawe, if you can make it with your own rendition of it, maybe the university can consider it. But there are certain protocols also that we need to follow in the production of the sablay.
We have Virgie. Yes, Virgie?
Sa Regional Development Council kasi nag-start na sila using the sablay. Iba-ibang motif depende sa province, but if it's for the region, yung iba-ibang motif. And we request the members to wear it during may mga regional or national convention because it is very portable, diba? You just wear a t-shirt and then put it on. So I hope for other agencies also, they could start with it, no, as one of the Cordillera inspired attire.
Okay, so do you have other questions?
Wala na po, ma'am, as of now. We just want to thank the Dr. Amores of UP Baguio, no, for answering that question from Lat Diwa in Ifugao. So I think if you are interested in adopting or in adopting the design of the sablay, kindly coordinate or collaborate with our colleagues from the University of the Philippines po. Thank you
Care
very
of
much.
Museo Cordillera, Miss Annelyn Amores.
Yes po.
Okay, hinga na natin ang mga mensahe ang ating mga panelists this morning. We'll start with Assistant Regional Director Pepita Pikpikan.
Maraming salamat sa ating lahat na nandito at sa lahat ng mga nakikinig. Based sa mga discussion kanina, meron din marami tayong na-pick up doon na kailangan nating gawin para sa ikaunlad ng ating weaving industry. Maraming salamat po.
Siyempre po, ang ating fashion designer, we have Miss Julian Paran.
Salamat din po sa pakikinig. Ayun. So, more on sa weaving kasi yung discussion kanina. So, gusto ko lang isingit sa in relation to the fashion industry naman. We really want to collaborate. We really want to collaborate with DTI or any na government agencies na pwedeng tulungan kami kasi we want to expand the market of the weaving industry through our designs din and promote it sa fashion industry. And also, yung i-push namin yung plan on designing ready-to-wear na maging daily wear siya, full or accented with our textiles. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Julian Paran. May we also have the closing message from Ma'am Tessie Acot of the Women's Organization in West Quirino Hill.
Thank you. Thank you. May sasabihin lang ako for sa lahat ng mga weavers. I also wrote something else nga as a representative of the weavers group. If we may ask, because most of you are government agencies who we are asking help from, kasi we're not all from textile. We may ask also that other woven products should be given also some acknowledgement, I think. Kasi sa ngayon, yes, we know, kasladya ko na ni ma'am nga, we go to the trend, pero kanya mimat nga older generation nga agab-abel, I have been weaving all my life, and it's not just haan lang nga, it's only for income generating lang, no di kat adamat lang DJ. That's why we're sticking to weaving kasi adja passion mat lang kinyami. And so what we are used to nga abulan, nga that's what we want to stick on. Nga as much as possible kung mga ikat, we're also given a adamat ko mati concern nga mapanmat kanyami. Because not everyone who is weaving ikat, we are all on textile or income generating lang, hindi, pero ko natay gord nga the creativity, kas ano may parward the creativity mi, no mapuwersa ka lang nga tela lang naman ang dadalhin. Kaya't mimot ko mga i-address yung mat kasapulan mi nga non-textile people. The West Quirino Hill is their it's not just West, and the whole of Quirino Hill, it's not just on textile, dati sagay sa nga textile, but we are more on the other woven products. And we know that it's not hanmat lang nga pangbado, hanlamat nga pangbado ti kasapulan niya, no di kat adumat lang dagi kasapulan nga woven product nga kaya't mimot ko mga ikanyumot di concern, government people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Tessie, for your closing message. Next, may we also hear from RD Juliet P. Lucas from the DTI-CAR and Vice Chairperson for the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council.
Foremost, I would like to thank the industry stakeholders. You're actually the driver of this economy. So, ang laki ng contribution ninyo sa ating ekonomiya. And our agency, the Department of Trade and Industry, is trying our best. We are doing our best to be of help. And now that we have a industry roadmap in the Cordillera that is localized for our clan, and I hope that all your concerns were captured here. There is no other way but go to the implementation of this roadmap and be responsive to all the needs of this industry. So, mabuhay po tayong lahat and happy Cordillera Month. Kayo talaga ang gumagawa ng mga some products that are very distinct of us, and we can really trace our ancestry with the products that you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much po. Next, may we also hear from Ms. Virginia Anseno, Senior Economic Development Specialist from NEDA-CAR.
Okay, good morning. So sa closing, siguro if I will be asked kung paano ko i-describe yung weaving industry, I am always very optimistic because let's not look at this pandemic as a big issue but rather an opportunity. Kasi 'di ba, na-clear na yung market and it's high time for the industry to rise. As mentioned by other panelists is that we should not, if we look at the value chain, there are many pathways for prosperity and other developments. Other agencies, all of us are joining. Kaya nga saya-saya ko na ang daming Weavers Association na kasama natin. We have like minds to address the issues of the industry. So yung andyan yung ating value chain. There are a lot of programs and projects push into it, so let's not waste. And also, let's consider and put in our minds the concerns of our customers. So, ituloy po natin ang pagsuporta sa industry, hindi lang sa pananamit, pati sa ibang gawin ng ating kultura. Yan lang po at suportahan natin ang Weaving Industry Development Plan. There are a lot of programs and projects there enrolled by the different agencies. So, it's also on our part to ensure that we implement them as we sign the Pledge of Commitment.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Virginia Anseno from NEDA-CAR. And last but not the least, may we call on also our DOST-CAR Regional Director and Chairperson of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council, Dr. Nancy Ibantog, to give her closing message.
There is wealth in creative industry. This is the reason why we have this plan. And this is aligned to the national plan, especially on R&D. Ito ang pinakabagong industry na nasama sa amin na priority. And creative industry is also part of the regional development plan. Again, there is wealth in creative industry. On behalf of the Cordillera Weaving Industry Council, I would like to thank everybody, especially the implementers, our partners in the weaving sector in attending. And also, I would like to encourage everybody that we should use our plan as our Bible as we continue developing our weaving industry in the Cordilleras. Thank you. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Stick with the plan.
Maraming salamat po for joining us in today's program and thank you to Mr. Sean Paul Pianganan of DOST-CAR.
Thank you also very much to PIA team, family, headed by Director Helen Tibaldo for covering us for this momentous event in the Cordillera weaving industry.
So mabuhay po tayong lahat, one resilient Cordillera as we weave our efforts together towards preserving our culture and craft, uplifting our economy, and working for our recovery. So gearing towards supply chain of textile in CAR from production to market. Mabuhay po ang mga Cordillera weavers.
Good afternoon, everyone. And mabuhay po sa ating lahat. Of course, please stay tuned as we'll be continuing our activity this afternoon, starting with the first 3 sessions, no, in relation to the our Cordillera Weaving Industry Summit. So the session 1 will be discussing about woven fabrics in the fashion industry. Session 2, we will be talking about new weaving designs and techniques. And the 3rd session, we will be having a talk on the production and marketing chain of woven products in the new normal. And for the next days within the week, we will be having the workshop on basic handloom weaving in support to our local weavers here in the region. So once again, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Mabuhay po ang mga taga Cordillera Administrative Region.